Welcome to today's version of Calf Chat for my fellow calf raising enthusiasts. Today we're going to be going over daily routines for autofeeders and those of you that raise calves in groups. So oftentimes the first thing I recommend that producers do when they get into a calf barn is instead of going and looking at the autofeeder is actually walk the pens of calves from youngest to oldest. And oftentimes I recommend doing this to write down the calves that may need attention, and then coming back to the autofeeders and looking at this list, the alarm list of calves compared to the list of calves that you saw in pens that may need attention. Oftentimes we can get biased information from the alarm list on the feeders, and you may miss calves that need attention otherwise that have not already popped up on the alarm list. So when we get to the computer and we look at calves that have an alarm list, oftentimes I'll look at not only consumption of yesterday and today's, but also the drinking speed, the average of today up until this time point, the average of the 3 previous days, as well as visits to the feeder with and without milk. So these autofeeder units are set up for calibration, and the newer units have the ability to auto-calibrate every single day. Older units need to be manually calibrated, and we recommend doing this with every new bag of milk replacer. The reason that this unit can manually calibrate every single day is due to the load cell that is below the mixing jar, but we still need to calibrate this load cell about once every 3 to 4 months. Next, we will go over how to manually calibrate these autofeeder units using this collection vessel for the milk replacer powder. It's important to do this on a regular basis, like I said, for the milk replacer. Typically every bag that goes into the autofeeder we should calibrate. For example, in this situation, the first calibration that we did, it was off pretty significantly, which is why we had to redo it again in order to make sure the powder and the water were consistent and where they needed to be measuring after the second time we calibrated it. Now, in order to calibrate the scale under the mixing jar for those autofeeder units that automatically calibrate every day, we need to use one of these 500 grams weights that are provided by Forcer Technic. And this should be done every 3 to 4 months in order to make sure that your autofeeder is calibrated properly. Now, when you're done calibrating, it's important to close the door, the fly door, and then make sure that you hit escape on the handheld until the green light is showing so that you are back to feeding calves. In summary, it's important to walk your calves every day, as well as make sure that the settings on the autofeeder are mixing properly, cleaning the mixer on a regular basis, as well as doing the circuit cleaning every single day. When the circuit clean is running, make sure to change the nipples out, clean and disinfect these, plus all of the areas around the feeding area for those young calves. Cleaning is of utmost importance, especially in autofeeders and for group feeding. This has been another session of Calf Chat with Dr. Jenn. Thanks for listening.